So at this point, we now have our first presentation that we've created with just an outline that we came up with inside of ChatGPT. And again, this is the layout. Gamma uses cards to contain your content. These are just like slides or pages, but are designed to be a lot more flexible. They can grow and shrink and adjust automatically to fit the content. They're not a set size like we're used to inside of PowerPoint, for instance. Gamma also uses a block editor just like platforms like Notion. So if you're used to Notion or other block editors, then this will feel familiar to you. Blocks are just editable pieces of content like text or image blocks that you can then move around and edit quickly. On the left here, you have your presentation overview. Here you can quickly see a thumbnail of all of your cards, either in a film strip or in a list view. In the center is our entire presentation in the card view. Again, you can scroll through this and get a better view of what the presentation is going to look like. On the right is our toolbar, where we can quickly add in new elements to our presentation, like new cards, text, images, videos, charts and diagrams, and more. At the top, we can change up and view our presentation in different themes if we want to see what they look like in some of these other ones. We can share it with others or download it as a PDF or other formats like PowerPoint. And finally, we can present the presentation straight from our browser here. Next, let's go ahead and take a look at how we can edit some of these cards. I'll scroll down here a little bit and find one that I want to change. If we hover over top of an element inside of here, we see that it highlights. Again, these are called blocks. These can be text blocks, image blocks, whatever you want. If we wanted to edit anything inside of here, we can just put our cursor where we want to edit and then make our changes just like normal. When you're hovering over top of a block, you can then select the three dots either on the left, if it's inside of a container like this, or on top to individual blocks. Inside of here, depending on what kind of block this is, you can do things like change the font, the colors, the styling, and more. If you click and hold on these three dots, you can also drag the block around if you need to reorder things. To add to a card, you can just select here at the bottom and then start typing. Again, if you're used to Notion and other block editors, you can also type / and you'll see you'll get a pop-up menu with the different types of block elements that you can add. So for instance, if you wanted to quickly add a new heading, you would just type / heading and then select it from the results here. Now when you type, it's automatically going to be formatted in the right format. There's a ton of options inside of here, so if you're looking to add something specific, just use the / command and then search for it inside of here. And if you want to delete something, for instance, if I change my mind on this, I could just select it and then hit delete twice. On the top right of each card here, if you wanted to add presenter notes to yourself for a card, you can choose the notepad icon here, and then you can add notes inside of here. In the future now, you can then head back into this and see if you've left yourself any notes on specific topics. Let's take a look now at how we can edit the entire card. On the top left, we can choose the three dot icon, and inside of here, we can duplicate, move, or delete a card. The next option allows us to change the card's styling. If we wanted to change up the layout, you could try some of these options at the top here, or you can change the card color and alignment. If you wanted to generate a background image for the card, you can also choose add next to backdrop here, and then use the AI image generator to create a new background image. I'm going to keep all of this on the default though, since I like what Gamma came up with. And if you do make changes inside of here, you can always choose reset styling at the bottom to change it back to what Gamma created. The last option here at the top is the one that we're going to be looking at the most right now. This is the edit with AI option. Choose this and you'll then get a new menu with all of the available AI features that we can use inside of our Gamma cards. We can use this to help with our writing, like making a section longer or shorter, fixing grammar or spelling, converting content to bullet points, or just improve writing in general. If you're still on the free plan, to the right of each one here, you're going to see how many credits these cost. Right now, they're all 5 each time you run one. Underneath of the writing tools is another section called layout. This right here might be the section that you're going to use the most. Let's say I have a card here that has details and data that I need to present, but I want to change the design of the card to have some more graphics. So again, I'll choose the Edit with AI option at the top, scroll down into the layout, and then choose Make this more visual. After that, Gamma will then get to work and will redesign the card and add more graphics to it, making it more visually pleasing. You can then switch back and forth between the original and the new design here at the top. and you can rate the design with feedback, and if you're happy with the changes, you can choose the check here to finish editing. Finally, the last thing that you can do with the AI tool menu here is you can use it to chat with the Gamma chatbot. Choose Chat with AI here at the bottom, and a new chat thread will then open up on the side. You can then work with this just like you would ChatGPT. You'll have some recommendations here, you can ask questions about your content, or if you have a card that's kind of boring or short, you can ask it to be more exciting and change it to a different format even. One last thing that we'll look at is creating new cards. When you hover between two cards here, you'll see the new card menu appear. We can add a new blank card, create one with AI, or from a template. If you wanted to create a new card from just a single prompt, say maybe you realize that there's a perfect spot for another point that you want to make, you can then choose Add Card with AI. Next, inside of here, you can then quickly enter a prompt of what you're looking to create, or you can choose a suggestion here at the bottom. Let's say that I want to add a card about the importance of AI training. I'll choose this and I'll say, talk about the importance of training your employees on current AI platforms and usages. Before you send this, you can also choose a template of how you want the card designed. I'll keep this set to magic and let Gamma decide. After that, go ahead and send it off. And just like that, I now have a new card that I can use to highlight the point that I wanted to include. Let's do one more thing here. In a previous lesson, we generated some charts to use for our presentation. Since this was created just from an outline, we may not have any of our original charts inside of here. So let's create a new card and then add one inside. Hover over top of the new card menu, and then this time I'll just choose Add Blank Card. I'll scroll down a little bit here. Next, I'll choose the image block from the tool list on the right, and then drag Image Upload onto my card here. After that, find the image or the chart in this example that you want to use on your computer, and then drag and drop it onto the upload box here. You could also just choose the upload button and find it that way if you wanted to do that too. Once it's uploaded, you'll then see it on the new card that you just created. This is great and may be perfect for what you need, but we can also use the card styling options to make it look a little bit better and fit with the rest. At the top, choose Card Styling, and then I'll use the layout options at the top to see what looks best for this example. And for this, maybe I really like the last option, which is Background. This adds just enough to the card to make it look a little bit better than just a chart on a blank page. You can then continue going through this if you need to, editing the slides to fit exactly what you're looking for, adding new cards, rearranging, adding your charts from before, whatever you need to do. And there's a chance that you may need to do nothing at all. Gamma does a really good job of just taking the outline that you gave it and creating a fully designed and professional looking presentation. Once you're finished though, building and finalizing everything, you'll be ready to either present straight from the browser here, or you can export to a file like PowerPoint or a PDF. But before we do that, there's a couple of other ways that we can create our presentations that we'll look at first. This one was created just by pasting in an outline from ChatGPT, but in the next lessons, we'll take a look at the other ways through an existing PowerPoint project that we created in the first section, and then after that, from nothing more than a single prompt.